into South Tulsa and tracking to the east. So doing a quick storm track on what we are seeing here, moving to the east at about 45 to 50 miles per hour. Potentially the stronger wind gusts that we're seeing with this storm tracking to the northeast. We'll do that at 45 miles per hour. So Woodland Hills Mall here at 11:01, Broken Arrow at 11:06, Broken Arrow High School just after that at 11:09, Catoosa 11:17, Verdigris 11:22. And again, this is not the only threat, the damaging winds. We don't have any tornado warnings at this time, but we do have a tornado watch in effect until 3 a.m. That is something that we're watching very carefully, but also that flash flooding potential. We are seeing some areas stacking up with more than an inch of rain already with these storms. This is on top of some areas seeing 10 inches of rain just in the last 2 weeks. So flash flooding will become more of a concern the later we head into this event as this line of storms continues across green country. So flash flooding, one of our main threats, damaging winds. We still could be seeing some small hail up to quarter size, and we're seeing some wind reports here with these storms. We continue our Fox 23 severe weather team coverage, tracking these storms across green country. We've got the whole team in tracking these storms across the area. Let's send things over to certified meteorologist John Boyer, tracking this line of storms and kind of doing a reset on the view here of what we're seeing across the area.
Yeah, 1 minute past 11 o'clock. No tornado warnings right now. That's good news. We have a tornado watch, which means the potential for tornadoes, that goes for all of green country until 3 in the morning. And I want to take a moment to talk about the southern part of our viewing area. Give a little attention there because it has been quiet around McAllister, Eufaula, and it's going to take longer for those storms to reach you, but we still want to give you the heads up and show you what's coming in. So you can see on this map behind me, the line of storms stretches right now from Okemah back down towards Holdenville and Ada. That's also moving to the east. And for the most part, this line does have severe characteristics. It has the chance of damaging wind gusts and large hail, and maybe also some brief spin-up tornadoes. Again, no tornado warnings down in this part of the line right now, but Holdenville just a few minutes away from that heavy rain and gusty winds moving in. Not under a severe thunderstorm warning right now in Hughes County. McAllister, Eufaula, Muskogee, no reason to see why this line would not hold together and at least bring you heavy rain and the possibility for some more flash flooding. Flash flood watch. Flash flood possibility for most of the region until 7 a.m. and no flash flood warnings right now, but that could quickly change as we saw last weekend. I can show you one more thing if you're curious to see how this is going to play out as we go through the rest of the night. And again, we can't take this computer model literally. You can't take anyone literally, but by the time we get towards 1, 2 in the morning, the heaviest is going to be east of Tulsa. Well, we may still have some thunder around, but the moderate rain kind of tapering off at that point. The heaviest at that time towards 1, 2 in the morning is going to be towards Grove, Tahlequah, Muskogee and Fort Gibson, Eufaula and McAllister. And watch what happens in southeastern Oklahoma. Persistent rain, that training effect that we talk about sometimes. So say from about 2, 3 in the morning all the way up until maybe 6 or 7 in the morning, heavy rain, waves of it continuing to pass through. And it looks like there could be a bullseye for that down around Eufaula, Haskell County, Pittsburgh County, places that do not need this. So this is really a situation that hasn't even begun yet for southeastern Oklahoma. Obviously still watching the ongoing situation with the severe thunderstorm warnings around Metro Tulsa, north into Bartlesville and Newata, south towards Okemah right now. And again, at 11:03, no tornado warnings right now, but you're watching Fox 23 Live severe weather team coverage. Whole team is here. Chief Meteorologist James Aylott has been taking a look at some of the more detailed high-resolution radar images, looking for those brief spin-ups that can occur with this kind of severe thunderstorm line. So we'll see, James, have you learned anything new?
Yeah, right now, again, it doesn't look like that we're seeing any of these spin-ups strong enough to worry about a tornado warning being issued. But again, right along the leading edge, we're seeing some of these. Now, I want to track these north to south all across our whole viewing area because these storms stretch all the way from Montgomery County in Kansas down into extreme southern parts of our area too. So what we're looking at, leading edge, the most likely place that we'll see any of these brief spin-ups or 60-mile-per-hour winds. These are moving to the east. We'll do about a 40-minute track. Dennis, Mount Valley, Parsons, Mount Pleasant, Hackberry, Oswego, Chetopa, and toward Lola. As we go a little bit further south along that line, we've seen at least some indications that we got to have a little brief spin up or two. You can see some notches here. So there is some turbulence on the leading edge of this line of severe thunderstorms, but it's basically now up Highway 69. And as these move east, and we'll do a 30-minute track. Talala, Cooties Bluff, Winganon, Alloway, New Alloway to be more specific, Chelsea, Bushy Head, Sunsweet toward Cocklebur Flat. That over in parts of Craig County you can see here. And as we move further into the metro area, again, we look at these line of strong thunderstorms moving across the city. Wind gusts to 60, maybe a couple to 70 miles per hour. We haven't had many hail reports, but I suppose we could get some dime to nickel sized hail out of that. We've had 1 or 2 big hail reports out of the strongest of these cells, especially in Okfuskee County, where we had a baseball sized hail report just after 10 o'clock. But metro area right now, you can see leading edge here. We'll finish this track right across the metro area. This is the leading edge, the gusty winds and the onset of the heavy rain. Tulsa International, Coweta, Catoosa, Verdigris by 11:23, Porter 11:28. Wagoner at 11:35, Tallahassee 11:38, and Choteau all the way out into Mays County at 11:44. Let's take a look from downtown Tulsa from the Blue Dome District, and some video there on the left side of your screen. Some power, couple of power outages in downtown Tulsa, but people definitely scrambling to take cover as Mayfest closed shop a little bit early tonight. But you can see some of the electricity out. A lot of folks using car headlights and flashlights, and some of that driving rain there across parts of downtown Tulsa as Mayfest shut down a little bit early, and as these gusty winds blew through, we did see some power outages. Not very many though, so that's a little bit of good news. Now further south along this line, we'll continue to the tracks. Again, it kind of notchy on the leading edge, so we could still have the potential for a couple of brief spin ups. Holdenville 11:10, Preston 11:15, Wetumpka, Okmulgee by 11:21, Henrietta 11:28, and then on into Muskogee County close to Boynton. But these storms go all the way south, and they'll be eventually approaching parts of Pittsburgh County and Latimer County, as meteorologist John Boyer talked about. Here's the leading edge now sweeping in, and this is video that meteorologist Michael Sager shot earlier, and this is the tornado in southwest Oklahoma. And this is where all this started. Okay, that was earlier. I'm not sure why that popped up, but that was earlier tonight. Nothing like that occurring right now. We have no tornado warnings in effect in eastern Oklahoma. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. In fact, we kind of have a line, a wall-to-wall line all the way across the viewing area of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect in our area. So I'll put the control back on and we'll zoom out and show you all the warnings that are in effect right now in our area. So all the way from Labette and Montgomery County in Kansas, Washington and Nowata County, Rogers, Tulsa, Wagoner, Okmulgee, Okfuskee County, and curving back all the way back into the Pontotoc County area now. But no tornado warnings are in effect. Our focus really shifting toward wind right now. I'm looking in the metro just off screen here, and we're here with the whole severe weather team. Meteorologist Michael Sager talking to our storm trackers. Ben Walnick is here. Meteorologist John Boyer is set. John, you've got some more to add on these storms. Again, no tornado warnings are in effect. Still watching very closely. The atmosphere is still very prone to at least some brief spin-ups with these thunderstorms.
Yeah, the one ingredient we have in abundance right now is spin in the atmosphere, wind shear, and that is allowing these storms to exhibit some rotation. None strong enough for a tornado warning right now, but I have been looking at this radar image. Metro Tulsa, this is the Metro Doppler radar located in Broken Arrow. The wind's moving towards the radar there in South Tulsa, or at least about to, fairly strong right now. I'd encourage James to take a closer look at that with his tools, and continuing to learn some new reports, not only from our storm trackers, but in our conversations with the National Weather Service, not only about wind damage reports and power outage type reports, but also of flash flooding. That's something we may be seeing more and more of as time goes on, and it looks like we'll send it back over to Ben Walnick, see if you've learned anything new. But
yeah, we've got, again, our whole team of meteorologists here tracking the storms. Meteorologist Michael Sager was just talking to one of our storm trackers out in the field, Terry Babzet, and he is just south of Winchester on Highway 75, so that is just east of Beggs. He reports with the lightning strikes that he's seen a lowering with that storm. What we're seeing on radar is some very broad rotation, nothing that would immediately jump out at us that a tornado is likely to form, but we are seeing a lowering there. That is just south of Winchester. That would be tracking to the northeast, likely just south of Liberty, and way down the line, possibly towards Leonard, moving into far southeastern parts of Tulsa County and into Wagner County. So broad area of rotation there that we're watching. We're also seeing the damaging wind gust potential, and that's moving through the Tulsa metro right now. Very heavy rain and damaging winds. That's the main two threats that we're dealing with right now. Winds up to 70 miles per hour, potentially even higher than that at times, and we're seeing the heavy rain potential that could cause that flash flood warnings. None of those in effect just yet, but we are seeing some aerial flood advisories, and it wouldn't surprise me if we saw some flash flood warnings here pretty quickly. I believe we have some video. Let's pop up the video that we've got here, and this is a video of some lightning, I believe, from the Jinx area that we got in from, I believe this is from Ron Terrell, Fox 23 morning anchor Ron Terrell. So very electric storms. We've got some power outages, even possibly reports, unconfirmed reports that we're checking on of possibly some fires from the lightning in the Sapulpa area. So we're checking in on that. Lots of lightning causing the power outages, wind causing power outages, and the heavy rain potential. If you don't need to be outside, you don't need to be driving, tonight is the night to stay inside. Flash flood watch in effect all the way until tomorrow morning. Tornado watch in effect until 3 a.m. Let's reset things as I zoom things all the way out to show all of green country. We've got this line of storms all the way from Nowata, all the way down towards the Tulsa Metro, and then west of Highway 75 through Okfuskee County. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Tulsa County into Rogers County, Wagner County, further to the south. No tornado warnings in effect, but wind gusts to 70 miles per hour. And I'm going to throw on our tornado watch here and turn off the warning. Still a tornado watch in effect for all of green country until 3 o'clock this morning. We will be here tracking the storm threat throughout the night. And the flash flooding threat will turn into a major issue as we head through the overnight hours, especially if we can see this line of storms slow down. And the areas that were hardest hit by the rains in the last 10 days, mainly along and south of I-40, well, we haven't seen the rain in those areas just yet. So as this line approaches that area overnight, closer to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, that's when we could be seeing that flash flooding potential pop back up in those areas as well. We continue our Fox 23 severe weather team coverage. We haven't checked in with Chief Meteorologist James Adelot in a while. James, tracking the wind with these storms as they're tracking into the Tulsa Metro.
Yeah, winds 60 miles per hour, maybe a little bit more. Just had a Twitter report that sirens were going off in Jinx. There is no tornado warning in effect. Not a tornado warning in the metro area. There are no tornado warnings in eastern Oklahoma at all right now. So could have been a lightning strike or a siren malfunction. That happens from time to time. But no tornado warning in Jinx or the metro area despite that report of siren sounding. Here's some of the video we're looking at outside. Our KRMG partners are watching us. This is a live tower cam on the left side of your screen, and the lightning show is just tremendous. On the right side of your screen, I'm going to take you through the metro area north to south. Heaviest of these thunderstorms now moving into northeastern parts of Tulsa County and then into Rogers County. So we'll do a track on the leading edge right from Collinsville down Garnett Road toward German Corner. This is moving to the east, and the track here is going to be basically over toward Keatonville Road and toward Keatonville over the next few minutes, and the Limestone Fire Department eventually toward Oologah. We've got some very heavy rain falling in North Tulsa right now. Here is Turley, Gilcrease Expressway, Highway 11 back up toward 36th Street North, and all the way north to about 96th or 106th Street North right now. Just blinding rain, and that's going to be moving over Owasso and over Collinsville, and we'll do a track on the leading edge of that already now, moving back into Owasso, and the track on that is going to take it over to Owasso, the Port of Catoosa. Here's Stone Canyon Elementary School 2, the Patriot, Limestone Fire Department as well. Further to the south, continuing to see the very heavy rain shifting east, now away from downtown Tulsa as we continue to watch that move a little bit further toward the east. What we're watching in the southern part of the metro area are probably the strongest of these thunderstorms. Might be producing a little bit of hail. Mid-levels of the storm look a little bit stronger in this too. Meteorologist Ben Wallach has been watching this, but this is the storm we're watching closely with the biggest effect on the metro area. Severe thunderstorm warning. Wind, the main threat. Could see quarter-sized hail, and we're seeing the mid-levels of the storm start to organize just a bit. That may increase our hail threat just a bit too as we watch this incredible lightning display over the city of Tulsa on the left side of the screen.
And what you're looking at is our Fox 23 tower cam at the KRMG studios at 71st and Yale, looking towards South Tulsa. And we can go ahead and take that full quickly just to show you all the lightning strikes that we're seeing with this storm. And we're seeing strong wind gusts. In fact, we were seeing lights in the neighborhood there in South Tulsa, but those were completely knocked out. It looks like we've lost power to a good portion of southern portions of the Tulsa Metro. And with more on the power outages that we're seeing, we continue our Fox 23 severe weather team coverage with some of the numbers and locations where we're seeing those power outages. We'll send things over to certified meteorologist John Boyer.
An update for you in the PSO service territory in Tulsa County. Just about 800 customers without power right now. And in Osage County, 700 customers without power, both very likely storm related. I don't have the information on exactly where within the county that is, but the newsroom can look into that for us. And also in the OG&E system, Bristow, 58 customers without power right now. And we're going to continue to watch these numbers. What we have here behind me, actually, I will reset this and count up the number of cloud ground lightning strikes in Metro Tulsa over the past half hour. And there's the number right there. About 2,400, very, very frequent. So as you saw from that camera view, in fact, if we go back to it, certified meteorologist Ben Walnick has a different view. Why don't you tell us what you're looking at there, because now we can actually see some neighborhood lights.
Yeah, we've switched things over to our Fox 23 tower cam in East Tulsa here at the studios. We are looking back to the west-southwest, just north of 44. So looking towards Midtown, between Midtown and downtown, very heavy rain, lots of lightning. The camera shaking a lot. We are seeing those wind gusts easily. You can see very electric storms, wind gust up to at least potentially 40, 50 miles per hour, and potentially higher than that, 60 to 70 miles per hour, which is why we have our severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect as we do a little bit of a reset here. Let's switch things over to weather 4 as we have our tornado watch that's in effect for all of Green Country. That's until 3 o'clock this morning. This line of storms that we're seeing all up and down Highway 75 through the Tulsa Metro from Nowata back to the southwest. South of 40 is a little bit further to the west towards Ada. This will be tracking in areas like McAllister here as we head through the next several hours. That's when the flooding potential will start to increase as we zoom things into the Tulsa Metro. Very, very, very heavy rainfall falling right now for a good portion of the Tulsa Metro. Street flooding likely happening very quickly with all the concrete we have in the metro area, that runoff. So definitely wouldn't want to be on the roads right now. The wind gusts that we're seeing, those 60, 70 mile per hour winds potentially, that would be on the eastern edge of the Tulsa Metro now. So as we pan things to the west, let me do a quick storm track on what we're seeing here, moving to the east at right around 45 to 50 miles per hour. So potentially the winds here tracking to the east, Port of Catoosa 1121, Verdigris at 1125, Inola 1134, Tiowa at 1134. So the wind gust pushing east of the Tulsa Metro. Still have the potential to see some brief spin-ups with these storms. We're not seeing anything on radar at this time that would indicate that we have that risk. And the strongest winds, what I'm seeing on radar, looks like it could be moving into Craig County, fairly rural western parts of Craig County, but areas like Welch, Blue Jacket, Veneta could potentially be seeing those wind gusts near 70 miles per hour here within the hour. A very large severe thunderstorm warning for northern parts of Rogers County, Nowata, and Craig counties. That is in effect here for at least the next 15 minutes. We're just now hearing the heavy rain here in East Tulsa, here in the Fox 23 studios. The strongest portion of these storms reaching East Tulsa and pushing into eastern parts of the Tulsa Metro. The main threat, flash flooding, lots of lightning causing some power outages, and wind gusts up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. We continue our Fox 23 severe weather team coverage. The whole team is here. Meteorologist Michael Sager is here. Certified meteorologist John Boyer. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist James Adelot.
Okay, again, zooming right into Tulsa County. We've been talking about the organization a little bit on this South Tulsa storm, at least in mid-levels above the ground, starting to get a little more organized. That means the storm starting to grow, starting to get a little bit stronger. And what we're looking at as I zoom in, very close to Bixby right now, is an increasing amount of mid-level rotation. It's not strong enough to warrant a tornado warning. What it warrants, however, is our very strong diligence watching this. So we're watching this very closely for you. Southern part of Tulsa County. We've got some weak rotation here. It's not enough to generate a tornado warning right now, but we are continuing to watch this very, very closely. Now, I'm going to move the Doppler radar up because we have severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect, again, pretty much wall to wall. Okay, we're looking outside behind Fox 23, and you can still see what an incredible lightning show that we're seeing right now. Warnings from the Kansas-Oklahoma state line actually up into Labette County. They've just about cleared Montgomery County. We still have a couple of stronger storms now, eastern parts of Montgomery County, as we take this all the way across the viewing area right now. So eastern Montgomery County and extending south into parts of Craig County, northwestern Craig, and Nowata County now. Again, as we take a look from our vantage point in East Tulsa, and it is just very heavy rain. No hail reported, though. Severe thunderstorm warnings all the way back toward Veneta and toward Big Cabin. New tornado warning right now for the city of Tulsa. If you are in the city of Tulsa, we just talked about that storm. You need to take your tornado precautions. Tulsa and Broken Arrow right now. I'm going to zoom into this storm, and we're going to track that right now as let's drop the camera and take me full screen right now, please. Lose the camera. Thank you. So increasing circulation. We just showed you this and the potential for a tornado. As I step back here, we're looking at the main part of the circulation, maybe just in the Bixby area, just northeast of Bixby, very close to Bixby. Moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour. I'm looking at the terminal Doppler radar right now, and what we're looking at is the main part of the circulation may be very close to Bixby right here. I'm going to move that, put that storm just very close to Bixby. Let me drop that icon, and we'll put that icon right back here. So the main circulation may be just to the east or northeast of Bixby. Moving to the northeast, we'll do a tornado warning track on that. Moving into Broken Arrow. So if you're in Broken Arrow, you need to take your tornado precautions right now. That means go to the lowest level, center part, smallest room of your house. Indian Springs Country Club, moving up toward Broken Arrow High School, all the way into Wagoner County toward New Tulsa and toward Fair Oaks right now. I'm going to even take an even closer look. There's the tornado warned storm. It looks like it's moving just on the east side of Bixby right now in high resolution Doppler radar data. This is what we're looking at here. We've got a couple of bends, a very strong inbound, some strong outbound. So Bixby High School, we're looking just to the northeast. This is Hakey Creek Park on far south Garnett Road, crossing the Arkansas River bottoms over the next couple of minutes, eventually moving up toward Indian Springs Country Club. Here's Childers Middle School in Broken Arrow. So we are continuing to watch what could be a developing tornado right now, far southern Tulsa County. Again, if you were with us just a couple of minutes ago, we talked about that this storm was starting to show some better signs in mid-levels, that it was picking up some rotation here. And indeed, that's what we've seen happen. Again, we go back to the high-resolution velocity data. Just east of Memorial Drive, the left side of this polygon is going to miss most of the city of Tulsa. If you're just joining us on KRMG Radio right now with our radio partners and Storm Team coverage, tornado warning in effect for Broken Arrow, for Bixby. This extends back into western parts of Wagoner County, the Creek Turnpike South Loop around Broken Arrow, East Loop around Broken Arrow. You're in this tornado warning. NSU, Broken Arrow. Most of the city of Tulsa not included in this tornado warning. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, but one more track and our team coverage will continue. But the storm very close to Bixby right now, moving to the northeast at 40 to 45 miles per hour. 20-minute track puts it very close to Indian Springs Country Club. It's crossing the Arkansas River bottoms right now up toward Broken Arrow, Oneida, Broken Arrow High School by 11:35, and then New Tulsa by 11:40. John Boyer standing by. John, you have more.
Just want to point out, many of us in Metro Tulsa may be getting on our phones a little alert that says tornado warning in this area right now. Doesn't necessarily mean you're inside that polygon. You want to listen to what James is saying about that, because the way that works on many of the newer phones, it's called WEA, and anywhere within the range of that cell tower affected by the tornado warning says you're in one, and you could still get a cell signal in other parts of Metro Tulsa from a Broken Arrow cell tower. So that could be what the issue is going on right there. Also, want to point out too, we were talking to our storm tracker James Rogers. He's up by the Gilcrease Expressway. Heard sirens going off. That's not a tornado threat for that part of the county. The tornado threat for Tulsa County is in the eastern part near Broken Arrow and also down by Bixby. Always worthwhile when we're in this coverage to go through our tornado safety tips. The goal is to get inside, or if you're inside, stay inside. Unless it is a unsafe shelter like a mobile home and you have the time to take shelter in a better shelter. Go to your planned safe area, don't waste time, and avoid going outside. Do not drive, but on a night like this, there aren't a lot of good reasons why you would want to, because of the flash flooding threat as well. We're not under a flash flood warning right now, but it doesn't take much of this heavy rain in a short period of time to get us back into a flash flooding situation. As James Rogers mentioned to us too, he saw in western Tulsa County plenty of roads that were covered and ponding with water. James, what have you got?
Well, again, we're looking at high resolution 523 Doppler radar data. We're looking right into extreme far southern Broken Arrow. Here's Indian Springs Country Club, Childers Middle School. This is the Creek Turnpike South Loop, Hakey Creek Park on South Garnett Road. Once you get west of Memorial Drive, you are not in this warning, even in the community of Bixby. So despite sirens going off in Bixby, our circulation now has crossed the Arkansas River. It's in the old Arkansas River floodplain here. It's in bottomland south here, just on the north bank of the Arkansas River. There's not a whole lot here. We don't have any reports of a funnel or tornado, but just moving into southern parts of Broken Arrow right now. This is what we're tracking, and this storm again looks like it could produce another, at least a brief tornado. We've seen some indications that the storm the circulation continues very strong. As I look at this high-resolution Doppler radar data, I'm going to, again, bounce this back out and show you the full velocity data. We have some outbounds here, some inbounds here, so that puts the main circulation moving very close to Indian Springs Country Club in the next few minutes. I'm going to roll this back. We're going to do a track on the storms to keep you updated town by town and minute by minute. So this is going to be moving pretty heavily in the rain right now, so you'll have very little advance warning as this storm gets very close to Indian Springs Country Club. I'm looking at some of the other data here just off to the side. So what we're looking at just kind of on the east side of Bixby. We'll do a 20-minute track here. It's going to be pushing up toward Catoosa, but the rundown just in the next few minutes: Indian Springs Country Club area, Broken Arrow by 11:34, Broken Arrow High School 11:37, New Tulsa in western Wagner County at 11:41, Lynn Lane on East 11th Street 11:43, the Cherokee Casino, Hard Rock Casino by 11:45, and toward Catoosa by 11:41. One quick check of the velocities again just southwest of Indian Springs Country Club. This is the potential of a tornado developing. Now our team coverage continues. Meteorologist Ben Wallnick's got more. Ben?
Yeah, and tracking this tornado warning, this was just issued in the last 10 minutes. Southeastern parts of the Tulsa metro. The area of rotation very close to the Creek Turnpike, it looks like. Southeastern parts of the Creek Turnpike, right where it makes its turn back to the north. So far southeastern parts of Broken Arrow. This is tracking to the northeast. So doing a storm track on this moving about 45 miles per hour. We'll do the latest storm track on this. Let's zoom things in all the way to Street View and get you a really close look at this storm. The area of rotation just off near the Creek Turnpike, right on the edge of where you're seeing the greens meet the reds on the south end of the Creek Turnpike, moving at 45 miles per hour. Tracking this just north of Indian Springs Country Club to the northeast, and we'll do this only for about 11 minutes. So areas immediately in the path of this, NSU's Broken Arrow campus, that's here in 4 minutes. Broken Arrow High School, that's at 11:34. As I zoom things out just a little bit more so you can get a little bit of a wider look and do a little bit of a longer storm track here, right along the Creek Turnpike, east-northeast, and at 20 minutes, this would be in areas like New Tulsa at 11:39, Fair Oaks at 11:43. No confirmed tornado with this storm. We are still seeing rotation. In fact, in the last scan that I just saw, it looks like perhaps the rotation a little bit weaker, but the storm could just be cycling at this time. If we are seeing the strong rotation with this storm, it would be right on the edge of the Creek Turnpike in far southeastern parts of Broken Arrow, just northwest of Coweta. If you're watching us in Coweta, this storm is to your northwest. The area that we're watching will pass to your north, but crossing over the Muskogee Turnpike here in the next, it looks like the next 5 to 10 minutes, tracking into far eastern parts of the Tulsa metro. Still a damaging wind threat moving through far eastern parts of the Tulsa metro further to the north, but this is our main priority now. Tornado warning in effect for Tulsa and Wagner counties. This warning went into effect about 10 minutes ago, and this warning is in effect as we head through the next several minutes until 11:45. So at least 17 more minutes on this tornado warning, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. The area of rotation that we're tracking just along the Creek Turnpike, far southern parts of Broken Arrow. This will be crossing over the Muskogee Turnpike likely before 11:35 as this tracks to the northeast. No tornado confirmed with this, but we're seeing that circulation continuing, and like we've been talking about all night long with this line of storms, we could be seeing these brief spin-ups with these storms, and this is going to continue into the nighttime hours. That's why we have a tornado watch in effect until 3 o'clock this morning for all of Green Country, with the main threat being all areas within this line of storms and to the east. So if you haven't seen any rain yet, you haven't seen any lightning yet, areas like Veneta, Tahlequah, Muskogee haven't seen storms just yet. The tornado potential is still there as we head into the overnight hours as this storm approaches from west to east. So the latest that we're seeing on this storm, as we zoom things out just a bit to give you a little bit of a wider view, the area that we're tracking, the area of interest here right along the Creek Turnpike and southern edges of Broken Arrow. Let's toss things over to Chief Meteorologist James Adelot.
Okay, again, we're looking at high-res Doppler radar data. Look just to the southwest of the Creek Turnpike, or southeast of the Creek Turnpike. Here's Childers Middle School, NSU Broken Arrow, and we're seeing the circulation actually appear on reflectivity now. So this is going to pass, in fact, about 3 miles south of the track of the tornado back on 2013 at the end of May. So we're watching this very closely. Now, the city of Tulsa, you're all clear. There is no tornado threat. Tulsa, Catoosa, Owasso, Collinsville, Sperry, Skiatook, the strongest part of the storm has passed to your east. We're watching this area very closely, southeastern parts of Tulsa County, moving into Wagoner County over the next few minutes. This is passing just to the west of Coweta right now. I'm going to switch over to velocity, and what